Okay, everybody, it is me, Gregory Mannarino. It is Thursday, January 27th, 2022. Right off the bat, I want to say it yet again. If you recall, I said yesterday, caution advised. Well, I maintain that status right now. Did you see this market today? And it's interesting the way it's being portrayed by the propaganda ministry. Let's cover that first. Earlier today, the stock market was rallying across the board. The Dow Jones Industrial Average was up over 600 points. We finished in the negative across the board. But earlier, this market was off to the races. And the story from the mainstream media was the stock market is in rally mode because of this strong GDP number. People, it's all a lie. All of it, okay? GDP is cratering. I mean, you don't got to be a rocket scientist to figure this out. I mean, just today, for example, alone, I was writing some of this stuff down. Durable goods orders fall off a cliff. Pending home sales nosedive. Supply chain disruptions are everywhere, not getting any better. Inflation is surging. Factory activity, again, is cratering. It's over. The economy is dead. And it's not just here in the United States. It's a global phenomenon. But again, the propaganda ministry is going to try desperately to convince you that we're doing phenomenal. We're great and we are tremendous. It's not true. And I realize that you understand that. Ignore it all. Turn off the dog shit because they are going to twist your mind into every way possible. It's just so funny. They go silent once the market reversed and went negative. Again, earlier, oh yeah, we're in rally mode because of this great economic news. GDP, boom, 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 rah, rah, rah. And then we reverse and go negative. Nothing. You don't hear a thing. It's the way it is. Look, let me say this. I am very, very, very troubled with the fact that the Fed did not do anything yesterday, not even a nudge, a fraction of a percent with regard to a rate hike, and this market is unhappy about it. How many people do you know out here on YouTube that were saying that if the Fed did not raise rates, the market would fall? Well, that's exactly what happened. It was a no-brainer to me. I know for a fact that there were YouTubers out here saying, oh, if the Fed doesn't raise rates, the market's going to rally. You gotta be kidding me. I don't know where these people come up with stories like that. It's too asinine to me. It really is. These so-called stock market experts. Anybody with half of a functioning brain cell would have realized that by the Fed not raising rates, the market would fall. This market wanted action. Even if it was a fraction of a percent of a rate hike, the federal funds rate just nudging it, this market would be off to the races right now. And I mean in a big way, a huge way. So with that said, look, maybe I was being too optimistic because I believed that they would raise rates because the market was clearly pricing it in. But there's something else here other than the fact that the Fed is determined to inflate. I've told you this since time immemorial. Inflate, and inflate some more. And is determined to create inflation. Think about it. So the Federal Reserve right now is running its inflation creation machine at full speed with no end in sight here. Maybe in March we're going to see a rate hike. But people are being led to believe it's not true. That by the Federal Reserve raising rates, it's going to cool inflation. In no way, shape, or form is that going to happen. I've already explained this to you a million times, but this is what people have been told. And it's astonishing to me, really, that people are sitting back in this environment and they are not in revolt. People should be on the streets in revolt right now against the Federal Reserve. But no, they just sit back and eat the dog shit by the bucket load, okay? Their heads being shoved in to a bucket full of dog shit, and they're being told to eat it and lick the bowl clean, and they're doing it. They're doing it. They're surrendering to the shit that's going on right now, and it's very, very disturbing to me, honestly. So with that said, look, this has got me a little screwed up, and I'm not lying. The fact that the Fed did not act yesterday, when the market clearly expected it, okay, I don't care what people were saying, all right? There was a lot of people on the mainstream pushing there, oh, the Fed's not going to raise rates. I went against that only because I feel like the market was pricing it in, which it is or did, and the market would have responded very positively to it. So the fact of the matter is the Fed is more determined than ever to destroy the economy and eliminate the middle class. That's the only reason why they're allowing the market to suffer. Again, this market here has been retarded, okay? We needed a pullback or a correction from a long time ago. I told you this. We are clearly in that phase here right now. And the market would be out of it in a big way had the Fed raised rates, but they chose not to, and subsequently the market fell. Imagine my surprise. No, we all knew that would happen, didn't we? A lot of this is more than volatility. This is a market that is trying to adjust itself to some new thing. And I just got this uneasy feeling here. Okay, I'm not saying the market's going to crash or anything, but I just don't like what I'm seeing because, again, this is much bigger than the markets. Much, much bigger than the markets. People, we are in the middle of an extermination of an entire class of people. And my bet would be that most of you out here are in that class of people who are being eliminated. You're being eliminated. And I find that so disturbing. I can't even tell you. Anyway, so with this wild ride in the market, again, we were rallying earlier today, stocks higher across the board because our economy is booming, GDP, and then all of a sudden we reverse and go negative. Yeah, negative across the board. I don't think that's a surprise to anyone here. Look, with regard to volatility in this market, we should expect it from time to time. We knew a pullback was coming at one point. No one could pinpoint it. Okay, not even me. But this goes beyond that with the Fed's inaction. I'm telling you, as you can clearly see, it's got me disturbed. Gold and silver got hammered today on this dollar strength, which is disturbing. The MMRI did not move too much today, okay? It's still reflecting moderate risk, but low moderate risk. Again, this is not a crash indicator, people. Please. It's a risk indicator, and low risk does not mean no risk. Anyway, I know you get that here. So crude oil, about $87 a barrel. Did you see natural gas? Natural gas is skyrocketing. Energy is skyrocketing. That was one of my big trends for 2022 when I did it at the beginning of the year. One of my top trends was energy and food inflation, and I think I hit those nails right on the head. Again, what is it all about? And with the Fed determined to continue to inflate, you think this is going to get any better? Really? No. By no way, shape, or form is inflation going to cool down, and nor does the Fed want to stop it. Pitchforks, people. That's what people should be outside the Federal Reserve, every single one of these buildings here, especially the one in Washington, with pitchforks and demanding action to be taken. Let me talk about action here. So our retarded, and I mean this, really, really do, our retarded president, and I mean retarded in the retarded sense here, okay? He is talking about executive action with regard to cryptocurrencies because he wants everyone to be in the Federal Reserve slave system. Why doesn't he talk about executive action against the Federal Reserve that is public enemy number one, that is destroying this country, that is destroying the world, okay? The central banks of the world, the hub is the Federal Reserve. Why? We have the reserve currency, and they are determined to inflate and destroy, again, an entire class of people on a worldwide scale. Where is the upset? Why are people not revolting? I have no idea. But that's our retard president here. He executive action against cryptocurrencies, but not against the Fed. No, because he wants you in the debt slave beast system. Oh, I was just going to say something so bad. I'm going to bite my tongue. I'm going to bite my tongue on that one here, people. Anyway, so as I said, durable goods orders falling off of a cliff, pending home sales cratering, and there's another 260,000 people last week applying for first-time unemployment benefits, and they want you to believe that our economy is booming. Make it up. I dare you to do it. Try. See if you can make up something like that, honestly. I want to bring something else up here. So Bridgewater Associates, which is a company, an investment company that was founded by Ray Dalio here, they are warning on the market again. We've been hearing a lot of warnings from Ray Dalio last year. Meanwhile, the market went higher and higher and higher. Look, all of these people out here, and there's a lot of them, some of them every month, and you know who they are, calling for a market crash or something dramatic. At one point, they're going to be correct. Duh. I mean, if you keep making the same call month after month after month, one of these times you're bound to be right. You have a record of being 100% wrong for years, these people. But at one point, they will be correct. There's no doubt about it. I mean, come on. I mean, it's the biggest no-brainer on the face of the earth. And anyone who continues to follow these imbeciles must be an imbecile themselves. And they don't belong here in this blog. And I would advise you strongly to unsub from here. Honestly, I told you this channel is for winners. And if you don't like me, if you don't like my attitude, I frankly don't give a damn at all. Please go away. Anyway, people, look. So in summary here, I am going to maintain my stance on caution. Caution is advised in this market. Now, I again am not calling for a crash or anything, but we do need to keep our eyes open, raise our awareness, watch the drivers of this market. Again, the MMRI didn't move too much today. I believe in the MMRI. I put a lot of thought into that indicator. And to me, I mean, it's not any kind of a crash indicator, but by looking at the MMRI and understanding how it works, that is, it is looking at debt as a driver of the market. And to me, again, it looks like we're okay, but this dollar index today, the Dixie, that is troubling to me. The yield curve looks okay, 10-year yield okay, crude oil is still getting propped up. It has no business here, in my view. You know that. I mean, it's insane. The rigging of the precious metals market, it's completely out of control. Do you really believe people are dumping boatloads of physical metals onto the market? No, it's paper. It's not real. It's not on the elemental. In fact, it's not even paper. It's digits on a screen. It doesn't exist. It's not on the elemental chart. But this mechanism is going to continue and continue and continue. We know who's doing it collectively, many banks, but JP Morgan mostly. They're going to get caught red-handed yet again, over and over. All they do is pay a fine. There is no arrests. And people are not revolting. No, people are doing nothing. You and I are taking advantage of it. Again, I don't even want to complain. I don't want to complain about it. We're in a debt hyperbubble beyond your wildest imagination. It's going to get a lot worse. The Federal Reserve has assured that. They will be buying assets like you can't believe. There is no taper. I proved that to you. I've shown you the charts. Everything the Federal Reserve says is a lie. But our president wants to take executive action against cryptocurrencies, but not the Fed. What does that tell you? Do you think you have a single say-so in this thing that we are involved in here? You think your vote counts really anymore? You think you matter to the powers that be here? The central banks who are on a mission to rule the earth? You think I'm making that up too? No. We have a one world government today. It is the central banks. Everything else doesn't matter. It's just a shit show. It really is. Anyway, people, look, I know you get it if you follow this blog. Really, it's an outrage to me what we are seeing, how things are going, And I don't know. Just be ready for anything here. Make sure you are hedged. Okay, like I always tell you. Yes, you should be long this market, large cap dividend paying stocks. You should be diversified in other assets as well. Obviously, precious metals, physical gold and silver, my favorite silver. I believe you need cryptos in your portfolio despite this so-called executive action here. They want you in the beast system, the slave system. You see, cryptocurrencies had the potential, or do still have the potential, to circumvent the slave system. And the slave system is run by the central banks. But as you can see clearly, nobody wants you in crypto other than those of us who realize that there may have been a way to circumvent the beast system. People aren't going to walk around with pieces of gold and silver, unfortunately, and buy things with it or trade with it for the most part, although they should. But cryptocurrencies was a way to do it. And anyway, we're going to see how that thing plays out too. With that said, people, this guy here loves you a lot, and I mean that from the heart. Please share the video, get it out there, and comment. I will read the comments. I'm out of here.